You ready? Okay, so, okay. All right. Test.
Oklahoma City, we're live right now during the Millwood Falcons broadcast. And today we have Mr. Milo Wilson. Mr. Wilson, how are you doing?
I'm great. Yourself, sir?
Give us that great title of yours representing Millwood in what capacity?
I am the Millwood Enrichment Foundation president, also the Millwood Oklahoma City School Board vice president.
Wonderful. Well, right now I know you represent the Enrichment Foundation, raising money. The goal is $25,000. Tell me, what is that $25,000 going to go towards?
I'm going to make you a promise. Each dollar that we raise will go towards our scholarships, towards our students, as well as our teacher needs.
Well, if they would like to make a donation of any kind, where should they go right now?
Right now, Cash App Millwood Enrich OKC. That is Millwood Enrich OKC, MILLWOOD ENRICH OKC.
Wonderful, and we look forward to seeing everyone reach that $25,000 goal. And you have a great day.
Thank you.
Good evening from Hennessy Event Center in Hennessy, Oklahoma. Welcome to Millwood Varsity Boys Class 3A1 Regional Playoff Championship game, sponsored by OCCC and, of course, SSM Health at St. Anthony. Tonight, your Class 3A number 1 mighty Millwood Falcons will face number 16, Class 3A number 16, in the Alva Goldbugs. Now, the Falcons were dominant in their postseason debut, beating the Lindsay Leopards by 44.75-31. Now, it was a collective defensive statement by the Falcons. They played with relentless purpose, holding the Leopards to 11 points in the first half of this game. What was more impressive was that was the mindset that was contagious throughout the entire roster for that game. It went just beyond the starters. Any player that hit the floor and came off the bench had that same mentality. 3 Falcons hit double-digit scoring. Amari Barrett led the way with 15 points, 7 rebounds and 2 steals. Isaiah Wilkes, 10 points, 4 assists and 3 steals, including a ferocious slam in the first half of that game. Then Gabriel Bivens, the classy veteran senior, came off the bench and scored 10 points. Anyone who watched that game saw the Falcons focus in on detail on the defensive side of the floor. And it bears the question coming into tonight, can that same intensity they showed on Thursday night in Hennessy, can they bring that from Lindsay to Hennessy tonight? The Alva Goldbugs have won 3 straight games entering tonight. On Thursday night, they beat the Blackwell Maroons by 16 points to get to the regional championship game on their own. Now, that was the 3rd time those teams had played each other this season. They had split the prior 2 meetings, with Alva losing the last one that they had a little over a month ago. So the Goldbergs have a good style of play. They play with pace. They are a team that forces their style of play and imposes that on their opponents. Their goal tonight will be control tempo, limit fast break opportunities against the Falcons, and get to the free throw line. Welcome to Falcon Pregame. I am Maurice Prince, joined by the student. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is a student, UCO student at that, Jamin Dawson. How you doing, Jamin?
I'm all right, Mo, and how are you?
I just want to dispel the rumors that we get on some of our streaming feeds about whether you really are a student or not. So you can confirm that you really are a student.
Exactly. I'm a student in the classroom, student of the game, and student in this life, Mo.
Hey, we all are in that regard. So what was so impressive was that defensive set. You talked about it a lot on Thursday night. You were there with me when we saw that game and we looked at it and we said, hey, man, this team basically took Lindsay out of what they wanted to do within the first 5 minutes of the game.
Right, and there was nothing spectacular, and they just stuck to the identity. Man-on-man defense, suffocating, tenacious defense, 21 turnovers. I mean, that's spectacular. and they would like to continue that same momentum moving forward.
And again, you need guys who are willing to share the ball and find it in different ways. And when the points came, they came in dozens. The Falcons were able to score in transition, get easy baskets all night long. Now, that doesn't play out well as you get deeper into the playoffs with more experience and more talented teams. But one thing has to say here, getting easy baskets in playoff games is a really good way to build momentum.
Absolutely. When you have such talented scorers as Isaiah Wilkes, Amari Barrett, and as you mentioned, Bivens off the bench too was big. He got in the double figures as well. So when you get those big bodies and those opportunities in the paint, especially with somebody that plays as strong as Jonathan Van Buren, you want to try to get in the paint and get those easy points every single trip.
Earlier, right before in the prior game, I had an opportunity to speak with head coach Dorian Williams, and this is what he had to say right before pregame. Pregame, talking with Millwood head boys basketball coach Dorian Williams. Your guys came out with a defensive mentality, Coach. You said 8 points per quarter. The players lived up to what they said they wanted to do. How proud of you of that defensive performance?
I think that day I was extremely proud, but when you wake up and you get back to work and you realize you got another game to play, so you got to do it again. And that's the cool part about playoffs is, you get up, you play a game, and whether you do good or bad, it's short-term memory. And so we're looking forward to, seeing if we can accomplish our goal again today.
Coach, one of the things that always stands out to me is that offense may not always be on your side, but defense can travel. How confident are you to be able to pack a version of that defense and bring it here tonight against Alva?
I'm very confident. I think defense, like you said, it travels with us. That's our staple. That's our identity. Regardless if the ball's going in or not, we know we can still win games if we defend, right? And so that's always the main focus for us. We practice that way each and every day. Now it's time to go out there and be confident and show what we do.
Alva is kind of a strange team. They're kind of a grind, but they like to control the pace of the game and their flow. How do you guys break into that?
We just play our style of basketball. I think when we play our style, we get up and guard, and we force turnovers. It kind of force you to play our way, regardless if you want to or not. We expect to probably see a zone, and I know they play man, and that's what a lot of teams will do. But like I said, we prepared, man. We prepared. A lot of things going to be thrown our way. We've been through a lot this year, right? And so what's one more thing, right? And so that's kind of the boys. There's no excuses. There's no worries as far as what they're going to do or concern or what they haven't seen. They've seen just about everything you can do in basketball this year.
Finally, finish this for me. The Falcons need to do what tonight well to win?
Play defense. It's always going to be defense. I don't know what else is going to work. I have no idea, but I know you can control your effort. I know you control the way we defend. Those are all controllables, and that's what we plan to do.
That is, of course, Millwood boys basketball coach Dorian Williams. Jamin, what stood out to you about what he said?
Just play defense. What do you have to do to come out here and win this game? Play defense, and that's exactly how they stick to their identity, and the team that's going to come out victorious is who imposes their will. Both of them have strong philosophies that they want to stick to, but as Coach Williams said, this Millwood defense is coming, so if they stick to it, success will come their way.
I really got a kick the other night when Dorian made the comment that the players wanted to hold their opponent to 8 points a quarter. And that was something you were tracking because if you're going to make a statement like that, can you do it? And not only didn't do it per se per quarter, but when we did the math, 8 times 4 is 32, and then you said they only scored 31 points.
Correct.
You've achieved the goal. And ultimately, that was a tremendous accomplishment. And that's not something Coach Dorian Williams says to his team, hey, this is what we need. I want this. No, the players made that decision. So if the players come with that same mentality tonight, I got to like their chances here tonight against Alva because that means you got to be willing to play defense and sell out and put all the energy on effort on that side of the ball.
Right. Coaching leads to success, but the players are the program, and I think they're really taking this personal here. We got a lot of players from last year's team that was unsuccessful in the championship game, and they want to get back to it, and they want to be victorious. So anything moving forward, they're taking personal. So they want to go out there, play loose, have fun, but stick to their identity. All
right, we're just minutes away from tip-off here this evening of this regional championship game here in Hennessy, Oklahoma. Again, a beautiful basketball facility. that, and we appreciate the hospitality being displayed to us here at the Hennessy Event Center. They're about to list off and call out starting lineups for these teams and get this game going on here in just a few minutes here, and we will pause and confirm those starting lineups, and then we'll be ready. It'll be time to play some basketball on a Saturday night. Nothing better than regional championship basketball on a Saturday night, right? Oh, I'm sorry, a state championship basketball game. How about a game that matters on a Saturday night? Sign me up for that.
Right, I mean, big basketball, this is what they play for, working up to all season. So this is when you go out there and let it loose to show yourself what you're about.
Tonight's game being presented by the Millwood Enrichment Foundation, Super Prep, SSM Health at St. Anthony, and OCCC. It's time for the starting lineups for the teams. Let's let it to the PA announcer for the Ava Gold Bugs.
Now for the number 1 Millwood Falcons, coached by Dorian Williams. Here is the starting lineup. Number 1, Braylon Joyce. Number 2, Isaiah Wilkes. Number 3, Amari Barrett. Number 10,
Hey, Jamin, go ahead and confirm the starting lineups for the Ava Gold Bugs, would you please?
Yes, we've got Campbell, Gaisford, Keelan Pinko.
Number 5, yeah, give the number.
Yeah, number 5, Keelan Pinko. Number 11, Trace Hamilton. Number 21, Cass Shipley. And number 25, Lance Mathers.
And for your mighty Millwood Falcons, the starters tonight is number 1, Braylon Goins. Number 2, Isaiah Wilkes. Number 3, Amari Barrett. Number 10, Mark Presley. And then number 23, JVB, Jonathan Van Buren. All right, we're set to tip it up. Jonathan Van Buren is going to jump it up against Trace Hamilton at center court tonight. And we'll have to see here if the Falcons can rev it up one more time. That defense we saw the other night was the staple of the game. It took the oxygen out of the hometown team. And the fans just basically became spectators of what was to be a long night for them. Let's see what the Falcons have in store tonight. Falcons on offense first, ball in the hands now of Isaiah Wilkes. Over to Van Buren, cross-court pass over to Goins. Goins swings it to Amari Barrett. Trap at the high post. Swing down low. Jonathan Van Buren to the box, and he scores.
Right, you heard Coach Williams talk about how many different ways the defense would throw different strategies at him. That time they go through zone, but does not hold up strong enough.
All right, coming up the court now comes Pinko. Pinko now being switched. Mark Presley picks him up, and they're going to call Pinko for steps in the game. And so Isaiah Wilkes wants to get the ball and get the offense going. He believes in instant offense. So here we go. Wilkes into the front court, cross court over to Goins. Goins up fakes. Swings to the corner. Van Buren up fake. Shot. And a beautiful jump shot. 18-foot J. Nice for Jonathan Van Buren.
Nice elevation on that jump shot. Nice job utilizing that pump fake by Goins and Van Buren.
All right, going to work again. Pinko. Hard screen at the top. Isaiah Wilkes hits the deck. Trap underneath the goal. They're going to pass it back outside. Shot by Gaisford. Shot is no good. Rebound pulled down by Amari Barrett. Swing to the corner. To Goins, back up top to Van Buren. Van Buren on the right wing. Looking for space to operate. Over to Goins. Not up top to Isaiah Wilkes. Falcons reset, taking plenty of time, no shot clock. They lead by 4. Inside, pass to Amari Barrett. Barrett is going to get fouled on the up fake attempt and probably will be going to the free throw line shooting 2 there.
Right, nice job getting into the paint, initiating contact by Amari Barrett. Very hyperactive on the court.
Now the players are going to have to communicate. That was a good legal screen put against Isaiah Wilkes on the other end. You're going to have to tell them screen so somebody can get their head on a swivel. Barrett knocks down a shot, makes his first point of the game. Falcons up by 5. 6:27 to go in the first this evening. All right, Amari Barrett at the free throw line. Fires. Shot is good by Barrett. Barrett 2 for 2 at the line. Falcons now up by 6. 6:27 to go. All right, pass, and then they're going to catch Van Buren with his hand in the cookie jar that time. So it's going to be team foul number 1 against Van Buren. Oh, I stand corrected. So let's do that. But in this way, they're going to swing it, and it's going to end up Isaiah Wilkes coming away with the steal. On the other end to Braylon Goins. To the cup he goes and scores.
Nice team defense there, getting that double team on the press, attacking those passing lanes. Easy offense.
All right, lead pass. Heads for the stands on that one. Pass intended to get down to number 23, Connor Adair. It's going to be a turnover there. So 8-0 is the score right now. Ball in the hands of Wilkes. Wilkes across the timeline now. Inside, lead pass to Amari Barrett. Again, it's not an alley-oop, but he's throwing it to a player who's going airborne toward the goal. And Amari Barrett caught it and was just fouled on the shot attempt.
Right.
Team foul number 2.
Very strong presence down low for Amari Barrett. You're going to see him work down low quite a bit.
So how we do that? As Barrett knocks down the first free throw. Oh, he missed that first one. Let me correct that. And now 1 of 2 at the line. But we'll take it. Falcons up by 9.
Nice tip
Amari
there by
Barrett
Braylon
comes
Goins.
away with the steal there, but a tip on effect. Now Isaiah Wilkes to the glass, and he drops the biscuit and the basket, and they say count the shot.
Nice job initiating that contact there, trying to set him up for that charge, but doesn't go. Nice take by Isaiah Wilkes.
Even better pass getting the ball into the lane there. And I'm trying to see, was that Barrett on that pass to Wilkes or was that Goins? Or was that Presley with the assist? That was Presley with the assist. So Wilkes at the line. Cashes his check. Falcons with the backcourt trap. And they're trying to get some space to go. Nice job by trying to create there by Mathers, who threw the ball off the foot to create and give themselves an opportunity. But now a timeout has been called on the floor. Looks like it's a 30-second timeout variety called by the Ava Gold Bugs here early in this game. Tonight's game is being brought to you by OCCC. Continue your education and earn a certificate that will allow you to take care of you, yourself, and your family at OCCC. That's Oklahoma City Community College. Go online today, www.occc.edu. That's occc.edu. Maurice Prince and Jamin Dawson on the call. Jamin, the Falcons are using a similar game plan that they did on Thursday night. It's not allowed the Gold Bucks to get into any offensive flow so far in this game.
Right, and they've been successful in doing so. Alva has no flow, no fast break opportunities. They've been completely harassed anytime they've been able to get past half court.
So in the first 3 minutes of this game thus far, the Gold Bugs only have 1 shot attempt. Penko has it, swings it cross court, back in the hands of Martin, who's checked in the game. Martin fires a shot. This time Isaiah Wilkes gets the rebound. And on the other end, Wilkes is going to be fouled that time by, I think that is Lance Mathers with the foul. Team foul number 3 against the Gold Bugs. Jonathan Van Buren now to throw it in.
All right, seems somewhat of a
Substitution
frustration foul.
Number 21, Cass Shipley, comes out of the game. And now entering the game now is number 24, Kyler Martin. The Gold Bugs are trying to bait the Falcons into being a little bit more aggressive than the Falcons may intend to. Nice inlet pass inside the lane to Mark Presley. He couldn't get the shot to fall. Ball's knocked loose. Tip drill. Ball ends up in the hands now of Van Buren, who swings it. Barrett from the corner for three. Shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Martin. The ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Falcon basketball as two Gold Bug players ended up colliding on that sequence.
Right, just a mistake there. These guys are hungry to get some points on the board, down 12. A little miscommunication there, and they lose the ball, lose possession.
So the ball back in the Falcons' hands, and then it ends up in the hands of Braylon Goins following the ball being knocked out of bounds.
And he gets the
Goins
steal.
knows what to do with it, scores the three on the inbound, and now a scramble, steal, Falcon basketball again. Falcons off to a 15-0 run in this game.
Right, excellent sequence there by Braylon Goins.
Ball in the hands of Isaiah Wilkes, standing on the logo. Amari Barrett kicks it to the corner. Braylon Goins from the left corner this time. He can't get it to fall. Rebound put down this time.
And that's a block there by Pinko.
And this time the ball is going to be knocked. This time Goins retrieved the deep pass, and the ball he is bumped at half court, and a foul is going to be called against the Gold Bugs there.
Right, prior to, that was a nice block there by Pinko trying to man down that paint.
So fourth team foul correction, fifth team foul now against the Gold Bugs. So now Braylon Goins, who has a game-high 5 points thus far, to the free throw line. Goins sets and fires, and shot is good.
All right, now Goins with 6. Only had 5 in that game Thursday.
And Goins knocks down another free throw, puts the Falcons up now by 17. 4:31 to go. Isaiah Wilkes, harassment at half court. Pass in the hands now of Gaisford, who gets it down low, and a nice basket there, and the first basket of the game made by Lance Mathers.
All right, Millwood switching to man there.
And an offensive foul is going to be called against Isaiah Wilkes, who thought he gave it up. And now Mathers trying to get the juice going for the Gold Bugs right now.
Right, they finally get some points on the board there. And they're fighting for the basketball. It seems like they might have some momentum swinging their way.
All right, so now Gaisford to throw it in. Ball back in the hands now of Adair. Isaiah Wilkes covering. Falcons still doing an excellent job on defense. 17-2 run. Ball tipped out on the floor by Barrett, but it maintains possession by the Gold Bugs. Working the ball inside the lane. Nice inlet pass into Mathers, who gets Amari Barrett in the air, draws the foul, and now Mathers going to the free throw line. That's Barrett's second foul. Foul number 2, team foul number 3. Barrett might have to take some extended time out.
All right, the Falcons did a nice job staying out of foul trouble in that game Thursday. Only one player with 4 fouls and another with 3. Definitely something to watch for Amari Barrett, as impactful as he is.
All right, Javier Richards comes in the game for Amari Barrett. And Mathis knocks down the free throw. 17-3 is the score. Gold Bugs have scored 3 straight points following the Falcons with 17. Isaiah Wilkes gets it back on a nice back tap from Mark Presley. And Mathis comes away with the steal. Mathis is having a major impact on this run here right now. And the ball's knocked loose.
Big no call there with the travel.
Mathis into the lane, kicks it to the outside. Pinko for 3, and Pinko drains it.
Nice offense there by Alva. Led there by Mathers, finding a wide open shooter for 3. Offense is starting to open up.
So that would make it 6 straight points from the Gold Bugs, but Isaiah Wilkes is going to go to the free throw line with a chance to end the run. The Gold Bugs needed a spark plug, and what a job has been done by Mathers. He's done a great job overall, just continuing to grind for situations. So Isaiah Wilkes at the free throw line now. Wilkes has 3 in the game thus far. Wilkes sets fires. Free throw is good for Wilkes. He's got 4. Mark Presley comes out of the game. Now Chris Clay checks in.
Right, didn't see too much of Chris Clay the other day. He had 4 fouls, so not much action in that first half.
So going to work right now, Isaiah Wilkes back at the free throw line. Getting an opportunity to pop one more. And Wilkes knocks it down. 5 for Isaiah Wilkes. Braylon Goyne is the team high with 7 right now. Ball in the hands now. Coming around the edge goes Adair. That is Connor Adair. Kicking it back out. Ball nearly tipped away by Chris Clay, but it will be Gold Bug basketball. And now Kyler Martin's going to throw it in.
Good awareness there. That was Chris Clay on both of those switches.
Connor Adair has it, being covered by Chris Clay. 2:56 to go. 19-6 is the score. Ball tipped. Braylon Goins going to end up with the steal.
Yeah, tipped by no other than Chris Clay, but Braylon Goins jumps and he's called for a travel.
So 19-6 is the score. 5 team fouls against the Gold Bugs, 3 team fouls against the Falcons so far in the first. This is the regional championship Saturday night here in Hennessy. Falcons looking to advance to the winner's bracket of area in Kellyville next week. Ball in the hands now up top of Connor Adair, who has it on the wing now, being covered again by Chris Clay. The Falcons doing a good job switching and still maintaining a strong on-ball defensive presence. Going to swing it back out to Pinko. Pinko pass to the inside, trickles back out to Adair, to the corner to Pinko. Ball on the glass, Pinko drives the lane and scores. Nice movement by Pinko, a nice finish with the right hand.
Right, nice movement. That 3 not settling for it.
19-8 is the score. Ball in the hands now of Braylon Goins, 2:07 to go. Ball on the right wing by Wilkes. Over to Goins, back to Wilkes, to Jonathan Van Buren, who pulls up with a free throw jump shot, shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Kyler Martin.
Ava still sticking with that zone on defense.
Pinko drives the glass again high up, and he's going to draw contact this time against number 5, Chris Clay.
Right, and offensively for Alva, it's just been 2 players. It's been Pinko and Mathers, so got to be aware of Pinko, full head of steam.
He uses his length and looks like he can finish with either his left or his right hand. He's very, very talented. Shot back rims that first one there. So as it stands, it's 19-8. Falcons up by 11 right now. Pinko shoots. And that ball hits all the sides of the rim before it falls, but he gets it to fall. So it cuts the lead down to 10. So Pinko with 6 points in the first quarter or first period of tonight's frame right now. 1:42 to go. Ball in the hands of Javier, not to Isaiah Wilkes. Wilkes tries to throw it up high to Van Buren. Passes deflected. Javier gets it. Then Van Buren gets up, reaches it, and slams that ball through the basket.
All right, Alva's been sticking with that zone, and they're attacking that gap down low just to get as close to the rim as possible, and that time we find success.
Van Buren with 6 points. Ball in the hands now of Hamilton. Back now to Adair. Wilkes still covering. Man-to-man defense still being played by the Falcons. Ball up top the circle. Going to hand it back out. Shot just inside the top of the key by number 11, Trace Hamilton. Couldn't get it to fall. Nice strip on the job there by Mathis. And then Braylon Goins falls hard and will go to the free throw line. Goins pops up. So it sounded worse than it might have been, but it looked like he hit the ground hard, covering the foul there as Campbell Gaisford was going to the rim.
All right, that hard was not gracious, Mo, but help defense there by Gaisford prized that ball open.
So at the free throw line, as that's team foul number 5 against the Falcons. They missed that one there. So now going to work. Ball in the hands of Gaisford. He misses the second one. Rebound pulled down by JVB. Goins looking for a screen. Jonathan Van Buren walks into a three. Front rims. Chris Clay with the rebound. Back up top to Goins. Goins fires for three. Shot no good. Isaiah Wilkes challenges, but no good as Hamilton gets the rebound.
Strong rebound there by Chris Clay. He had 3 Alva defenders around him.
All right. Trying to get some space there. The Falcons are still doing a good job of shutting down the airspace there. Ball in the hands now of Gaisford. Gaisford has it knocked loose. Goes back and retrieves it. So going to work right now. Ball in the hands, and it still will be, it looks like it's going to be a foul on the Falcons. It's going to be on Chris Clay. That's team foul number 6, but they're in the bonus now. So now Gaisford back at the free throw line shooting 2. He misses the first one.
All right, and Alva so far having some free throw trouble like Thursday and Millwood's opponent in Lindsay.
And goes 1 of 2 at the line. So 21-10 is the score. Falcons up by 11. 18.6 seconds left to go. So it looks like Clay comes out of the game, and Isaiah Wilson has checked in, excuse me. Swing over to Wilkes with 11 seconds on the clock. Back over to Goins. Ball's going to be deflected. Got to pay attention. Keelan Panko has those long arms. Will get in that passing lane and deflect that pass. 6.8 seconds on the game clock here. Goins to throw it in. Wilkes wide open. Wilkes up fakes, drives in the lane, pulls up, short corner runner. Shot by Wilson as time expires, and the Falcons will score that basket. Isaiah Wilson gets the 2 off the Isaiah Wilkes assist, and the Falcons will lead by 13, 23-10. We'll be right back. You're listening to Millwood Basketball Regional Championship Game. Varsity Boys in Action, sponsored by OCCC and SSM Health at St. Anthony.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Hey sports fans, get ready to step into the world of championships with Super Prep Live, hosted by Miles Perry, only on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Dive deep into the lives of high school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that reveals what makes them great. Follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
Time to start the second quarter tonight. Tonight's game being presented by OCCC and SSM Health at St. Anthony. Maurice Prince and Jamin Dawson on the call. The Alva Gold Bugs in the first quarter shot 3 of 5, 60%. 3 of 8 from the free throw line, 38%. They turned the ball over 4 times. But if you're head coach, in this particular case, Trey Johnson, you cannot be happy with going 3 of 8 from the free throw line. Those are points that would get you back in the game if you're Alva. So now going back to work, Braylon Goins covering Pinko at the top. So we've got on the floor for the Falcons right now Isaiah Wilson, Javier, and a nice roll to the basket and score that time by number 11, Trace Hamilton on the points there.
Right, nice leverage there, positioning himself to have a path to the basket.
So he gets that one there. Backcourt, it's going to be an over the back as Isaiah Wilson's pass was not sharp that time. And it looks like Goins is going to take a breather, and now Bryce Brown comes in the game early. 23-12 right now.
Right, Bryce Brown, what a spark plug off the bench he is. He had 10 off the bench.
So going to work right there right now. Pass out. Going in the hands of Javier. Now working the ball about the top of the perimeter. Isaiah Wilson now covering Adair. Deep pass inside. Javier challenges, and Bryce Brown going to end up with the steal there.
Right, there's a mismatch there with Kyler Martin.
And then Javier drives to the hole. He's going to get fouled that time by Lance Mathers. Team foul number 1 coming against Alva. That is his second foul right now. And it's going to send Javier Richards to the line shooting 2. The Falcon defense has just been sensational. Has it been great all year? It's been building to this fever pitch. And here are some numbers for those stat hounds out there who like that stuff. The Falcons have been winning overall this year, scoring about 68 points a game, their opponent scoring 56. So it's about a 12-point margin as Javier knocks down the other free throw. And it's 24-12 right now. But here's the stat that's going to get to you right now. In the last 10 games, the Falcons have just gone next level as Isaiah Wilkes, he's going to make a poster, and he just misses that one. Isaiah Wilkes tried to punch it, shot no good that time.
Right, and what would have been the highlight, the ball on the rim just have a slight disagreement.
I mean, Isaiah Wilkes was charged and ready he was ready to fly that one down. Ball in the hands, Isaiah Wilkes again, seeing the defense wasn't paying attention. Bounce pass over to Bryce Brown. Brown to Van Buren. Van Buren has the ball knocked loose. Van Buren in the lane, can't score. Javier jumps up, get the rebound. Javier throws it back out to Brown. Brown up, fakes in the lane, kicks it over. Isaiah Wilkes for 3, spots up. Shot no good. Rebound. It looks like it's going the other way. It's going to be a foul against Javier Richards. Might have been contact or push in the back there. But a tough situation there.
Right, a lot of physicality on that possession. Millwood trying to work that ball inside, find trouble, kick it back out.
So the ball's going to be tipped.
Tipped by Isaiah Wilson.
So now going back to work, Bryce Brown nearly knocks that ball free. Isaiah Wilson going to find it. In the lane, turning and firing, shot no good that time by Cass Shipley, who's just returned to the game.
All right, nice recovery there by Isaiah Wilson, getting the rebound now.
Kicks to the corner. Bryce Brown for 3, shot no good. Back in the hands of Lance Mathers. The Falcons have got to pay attention now. The Falcons have not shot the ball well starting off the second frame here. And Isaiah Wilkes is going to be called for the foul there. So back to my stat. I said for your sound hounds out there. So I said it was 68-56, about a 12-point margin. But in the last 10 games, as Josiah Mays comes in for Isaiah Wilkes, the last 10 games, the Falcons have averaged 74 points a game, holding their opponents to 51 points per contest. That's an improvement of 12 percentage points. So they're outscoring their opponents now by 23, entering the playoffs. The Falcons truly are playing their best basketball right now. And Josiah Mays is going to get called for the foul. And that contact was not strong enough to stop Cass Shipley, who muscled that shot in, and it fell for the Gold Bugs.
All right, they kicked it out to him on the wing, and Josiah Mays picks him up. But did a nice job, Shipley initiating that contact, setting the tone. Going back up to the rim, Josiah Mays gets called.
So Josiah Mays comes out, Braylon Goins comes in, Mark Presley returns, and Josiah Mays comes out. I'm sorry, not Josiah Mays. Javier Richards comes out. So those are the 5 Falcons on the floor: Isaiah Wilson, Braylon Goins, Bryce Brown, Jonathan Van Buren, and Mark Presley. Rebound pulled down off the missed free throw by Bryce Brown.
And watch Isaiah Wilson. He's already down court. Might have had something set up.
So the ball in the hands now inside. Bounce pass by Presley is going to be stolen. Going to be a jump ball situation, and it will stay with the Falcons here. So the Falcons got to be sharp here. The Gold Bugs have been able to do what I said in pregame. They've started to control the tempo. They've climbed the step stairs back to get in this game. And the Falcons' lead is down, which was as high as Bryce Brown's going to be called for steps there. The lead, which was 17 points. And then since that position time, the Falcons have only scored 7. The Gold Bugs have outscored the Falcons 14-7.
Right, almost like last game, Millwood had a nice opening window shooting the ball, especially from 3, but you got to be aware of that shot selection throughout the course of the game.
Ball in the hands now of Cass Shipley. He goes over the screen. And then a elbow jump shot is no good that time by Trace Hamilton.
Hands in the cookie jar by Gaisford.
And
then slam by Pinko.
Then Kalen Pinko reaches from the sky and drops one in with a hard slam of his own, bringing the Gold Bug faithful to their feet for the first time tonight. Bullet pass inside is going to touch the end line. Turnover by the Falcons as Van Buren wasn't able to handle it.
Back-to-back turnovers. Got to find some poise and resilience here.
So Presley comes out of the game. Isaiah Wilson comes out of the game. Wilkes is back in, and so is Amari Barrett. And now the lead is down to 8. The Gold Bugs are doing exactly what they wanted to do. Survive the storm by the Falcons and make them play their game. Inside to the goal. Nobody cuts him off, and Cash Shipley drives in the lane and scores. Ball in the hands of Van Buren. Van Buren pulls up for the short corner jump shot, no good. Rebound. And they're going to call an offensive foul that time on Cash Shipley, who tried to push off there. He extended the arm. Had he not extended the arm, the foul would not have been called.
Right, to your earlier point, Millwood's got to be more intentional with their shot selection here as Alva continues to crawl back into this game and their lead shrinks.
4:26 to go. 24-18. And now Jonathan Van Buren comes out for a breather, and now Gabriel Bivens is in. So ball in the hands now of Braylon Goins. Wide open three-point shot. That's a way to swing it. Braylon Goins with double digits now as he's got 10 off the Isaiah Wilkes assist.
Right, a three at the right time. You don't want to settle for those, but nice to see the confidence.
Ball in the hands now. Caught by Trace Hamilton. Now ball back in the hands of Connor Adair. Tries to get around Gabriel Bivens. Bivens brings some length onto the floor as well. Inside the lane, power game. Ball tipped. Back in the hands now of Adair. Going over the screen and a switch by Wilkes. He's on him. Up top. Ball in the hand back to Adair on the left wing. Bryce Brown getting in his hands.
Yeah, he's all in his jersey, and he gets a bump there from Hamilton.
And Amari Barrett tips it. Ball back in the hand. Pass down low, and the ball's going to be stolen by Bryce Brown. Tremendous job by the Falcon defense, never giving up on that one.
Amazing job, and talk about how they might pick on a mismatch as Bryce Brown, but 2 steals there, testament to his defensive tangibles.
So, going to have to see what happened here. Mark Presley had to leave the floor for a moment. But back, going to work, 27-18. Falcons up by 9 right now. Back in the hands of Barrett. Barrett looks at the three, then gives it back to Goins. Goins has been the hot hand from deep early on. Amari Barrett pulls up with the short jump shot. He misses, gets his own rebound. That's nice. He drops the change, picks it up on his own, and then makes $1 out of it.
Right, that's not a shot that he usually takes, but he usually sticks with it. He gets his rebound, and the putback is good. Isaiah Wilkes handing the cookie jar.
All right, working the ball around. Bryce Brown, and they're going to call Bryce Brown with the foul there. Bryce Brown doing a great job of having an impact on these taller players. He's shoulder to the ground, so you got to watch how you dribble. But Brown's getting in the mix. He picks up what will be his, I think Bryce Brown has 2 fouls right now. And then a foul on the other end against Bryce Brown, and that's number 3 against him right now. Team foul number 5. So now back to the free throw line. Well, to the free throw line goes Keelan Pinko.
And Bryce Brown, a guy that comes off the bench.
It's interesting, you know, for him to have an impact early in the game. He's showing that he can play. And I think it's just about opportunities because you've got so much talent on the Falcons starting 5. Bryce Brown very well could be starting in other situations. Absolutely. He comes out of the game with 3 fouls, and the Falcon faithful clap it up for him, for the young man making his presence felt in a regional championship game.
Right, he's got a nice 3-point shot as well, but to come in and have instant impact on defense.
Ball back in the hands of Wilkes. Falcons now back up by 11 again. Goins up top to Wilkes, to Amari Barrett. Barrett at the elbow, swing over to Goins from the right wing. Give me all 3 of those. Braylon Goins, straight cash in the first half, folks. That is 13 points in the first half from him off another Isaiah Wilkes assist.
All right, nice patient offense there by Millwood. Alva's in that 3-2, exploit it, get the ball in the middle of the zone and kick it out.
And now he stepped. The official said he's calling a timeout, didn't get it. Trey Johnson said he called a timeout and didn't get it.
Right.
And he's a little upset about it. So now going to work now, the Falcons going to have the ball back. So nonetheless, it is a turnover here. 32-18. Ball in the hands of Isaiah Wilson, down to Barrett on the box. Barrett swings it. Back up top to Wilkes. Wilkes for 3. Shot is short. Amari Barrett tracks it down. And now Isaiah Wilson ends up with the ball's going to be knocked out of his hands, and Isaiah Wilson's going to turn it over.
All right, what was a nice turnover for Millwood ends up being a nice turnover for Alva. Pinko on the inbound.
So ball in the hands now of Connor Adair. Adair coming across the timeline now. And they're going to work the ball in the lane. The ball's going to be knocked loose. And Mathers has to track it down.
And they get the timeout.
And this time they called a timeout. And so now the official wants to talk to head coach Trey Johnson. So as it stands right now, it's a full timeout being called on the floor. Super Prep is the premier sports outlet featuring the very best in high school and college student athletes in the city, state, and nation. Super Prep can be found on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 and social media at Super Prep OK. Maurice Prince and, of course, Jamin Dawson on the call here. In the second frame here, the game, it's been 9 points scored by the Falcons, 8 by the Gold Bugs. But I really have to talk about how different the game had been after that 17-0 run by the Falcons. You're talking about 18 points basically scored from that time on by the Gold Bugs. They cut the lead down under 10. The Falcons had to respond. Braylon Goins has been part of that reason on why they've been so good in the first half.
Right, and it's been the defense for both sides. What got Alva back in the game was generating a few turnovers there, and that was really spearheaded by Gainsford and explosion of offense by Mathers and Pinko.
So the Falcons shooting in the first half of this game, they're 10 of 20, 50%. From 3 of 9, 33%. Not terrible. But what's been impressive about the Falcons is this number. I know, Gary, you're probably watching if you're not here, but Gary, I'm going to tell you right now, the number you're going to love right now, free throws, 9 of 10 from the free throw line from the Falcons right now.
Right, it's a nice trend moving forward. They did a nice job in the last game, 11 for 15, 73% from the charity stripe.
Back to work, Isaiah Wilson covering up top. Pinko running the baseline. They were looking for him on that backdoor cut, otherwise known as the Steph Curry cut. Working the ball upside, Goins. They're going to swing it. Not sure that was not travel on that situation because he left his feet, didn't pass up the ball. Never mind, Gabriel Bivens ends up with the steal here. And then Barrett going to have the ball knocked out of his hand by Pinko. That should be a out-of-bounds team foul number 3 against the Gold Bugs there. And Amari Barrett's going to go to the, I'm like, it's the Falcons ball. Yeah, I was like, what was going on there? So now Isaiah Wilkes to throw it in. Amari Barrett catches it. Isaiah Wilkes gets it. It's the easy money play. Barrett on the inbound inlet pass on one hand down to Wilkes, who scores.
Right, baseline out of bounds play. It's their bread and butter, and that's a nice wrinkle in it, getting the ball right back to Wilkes for easy score.
Turnover that time, forced again by that Falcon defense. Gold Bugs weren't quite ready for that one in that situation. The Falcons have now reestablished themselves a little bit. 34-18 is the lead right now. Falcons up by 16. Bounce pass to the box to Gabriel Bivens. Bivens on the way to Goins. Goins fires another 3. That one will be short. Isaiah Wilkes gets the rebound. There's going to be a foul that time against Mathers. Mathers.
Right. Mathers trying to jump up and fight for the ball as well as Wilkes, but Wilkes jumps a little quicker, getting possession of it, and Mathers called for having his arm in there.
That is 3 fouls now against Mathers. So he's probably going to end up taking a seat here. So now going to work now. So Isaiah Wilkes is going to inbound again. You got to be smart. Those inbound plays, as you just called it, the Falcons are kind of sneaky when they do that. Barrett on the box, works it down low and finishes with the reverse. What a move by Barrett. Up, under, and reverse.
Right on Trace Hamilton. Just substituted him into the game. He's been a physical player, but nice English by Amari Barrett. Ball tied up.
Jump ball situation, it will be gold bug ball. But what you love about it is the infectious energy by that Falcon bench, who just had to show all that energy for that hustle, for that energy, for that play on that one for the Falcons, even though it was gold bug ball.
Right, and as you mentioned in our pregame, from the starters all the way down to the bench, the effort was there. And it's contagious through this group, and you like to see their energy, even from the coaching staff.
So a timeout has been called on the floor here by Alva. It's a 30-second timeout called by the Gold Bugs and Coach Trey Johnson. Trey Johnson's team this year is 17-8, earning their way and earning the reputation as they have and playing very good ball this year. You know, their style has been effective in many games this year against a lot of the opponents that they have played. The Falcons have been able to outmaneuver it because they bought, I guess you want to say, if you bring a hammer, you got to bring a bigger hammer to the game, and right now that's what the Falcons have done. And as they made that run, as the lead is back up to 18 points now for the Falcons, they've been able to do that by getting back on the defensive end, by the personnel and the grouping that's on the floor. Ball's tipped. Isaiah Wilson comes up with the steal. Isaiah Wilson to the cup. Layup is in and good for the Falcons.
All right, continue to talk about that defense, really harassing Alva there, not letting them get any rhythm whatsoever.
Falcons have pushed the lead all the way back up to 20. An inside finish. Acrobatic move that time by Connor Adair. Shot was no good. Amari Barrett come up with the rebound. And on the other end, Isaiah Wilkes with the easy two on the inside off the Goins pass.
All right, nice job taking his time, too, leaving an opportunity to initiate some contact.
Isaiah Wilson with the steal. How did he do that one? Isaiah Wilson comes up with it. Shot no good that time by Wilson. Rebound pulled down by the Gold Bugs, and then Pinko's into the lane, and they're going to call a foul. And no, they're not. No foul. They're going to call traveling on that play. And Coach Dorian Williams was really going to lose it right then and there if they didn't do it.
Right. I mean, Goins was sticking with him stride for stride. It was clear as day.
And at the end of the first half, the score is set at 40-18. The Falcons still up big, up by 22 going into halftime. Coming up next, the Millwood and Richmond Foundation halftime report is coming up in just a few minutes. I'm Maurice Prince. He is Jamin Dawson, and tonight's game is being brought to you by OCCC and SSM Health at St. Anthony. We'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Oklahoma City, we're live right now during the Millwood Falcons broadcast. And today we have Mr. Milo Wilson. Mr. Wilson, how are you doing?
I'm great. And yourself, sir?
Give us that great title of yours representing Millwood in what capacity?
I am the Millwood and Richmond Foundation president. Also the Millwood Oklahoma City School Board vice president.
Wonderful. Well, right now I know you represent the Richmond Foundation, raising money. The goal is $25,000. Tell me, what is that $25,000 going to go towards?
I'm going to make you a promise. Each dollar that we raise will go towards our scholarships, towards our students, as well as our teacher needs.
Well, if they would like to make a donation of any kind, where should they go right now?
Right now, Cash App Millwood Enrich OKC. That is Millwood Enrich OKC, MILLWOOD ENRICH OKC.
Wonderful, and we look forward to seeing everyone reach that $25,000 goal, and you have a great day.
Thank you.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Hey sports fans, get ready to step into the world of championships with Super Prep Live, hosted by Miles Perry. Only on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Dive deep into the lives of high school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that reveals what makes them great. Follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and who wants to win $10,000? First of all, you gotta be a high school senior in the Oklahoma City Metro. Second of all, you gotta hit that QR code down at the bottom. Third of all, this is brought to you by Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores and Perry Publishing Broadcasting. And don't forget Super Prep.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Oklahoma City, we're live right now during the Millwood Falcons broadcast. And with today we have Mr. Milo Wilson. Mr. Wilson, how are you doing?
I'm great, and yourself, sir?
Give us that great title of yours representing Millwood in what capacity?
I am the Millwood Enrichment Foundation president, also the Millwood Oklahoma City School Board vice president.
Wonderful. Well, right now I know you represent the Enrichment Foundation, raising money. The goal is $25,000. Tell me, what is that $25,000 going to go towards?
I'm going to make you a promise. Each dollar that we raise will go towards our scholarships, towards our students, as well as our teacher needs.
Well, if they would like to make a donation of any kind, where should they go right now?
Right now, Cash App Millwood Enrich OKC. That is Millwood Enrich OKC, MILLWOOD ENRICH OKC.
Wonderful, and we look forward to seeing everyone reach that $25,000 goal. And you have a great day.
Thank you.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Time report. Maurice Prince and Jamin Dawson on the call this evening. The Millwood and Richmond Foundation is raising $35,000 to help take care of their students and scholarships and also their teachers as well. Help make a positive difference by investing in the jewel institution that is Millwood Public Schools. And why would you do that? Because it helps situations that maybe the school cannot handle. The Millwood and Richmond Foundation fills in the gap. Student may need backpacks, may need school supplies, may need some extra meals to help because there's some struggling parents out there. So let's understand the Millwood and Richmond Foundation is something that's a positive impact. It is not going directly to the athletic department. They're trying to up the bar. They raised $25,000 last year. They're going for $35,000 this year. So be a part of it. You do that opening up Cash App, $ Millwood and Rich OKC. That's $ Millwood and Rich OKC. The Falcons outscored them 23-10 in the first frame, then 17-8 after the Gold Bucks changed the tempo a little bit. So, Jamin, what is your take on the first half of this game, and what did you see overall?
Well, it's been a lot of Millwood here. They're out-rebounding them 15-5 in turnovers. Alva has 11 to Millwood's 4, so the defense is really doing a lot, and they're being strong down low. Now, Alva's shooting percentages, they're not bad. They're shooting 60% from twos. They're 50% from three. They're just not getting into a lot of offense because this defense is harassing them into so many turnovers.
Right, and to me, the one thing that Trey Johnson, the head coach of Alva, is going to be yelling at halftime, we've got to take care of when we get to the free throw line. This number here is the whole reason why the lead is so big. Not saying the Gold Bugs would have it, but 3 of 10 from the free throw line will not get it done, 30%. The Falcons on the other side here, overall total field goals, 14 of 26, 54%. 3 of 10 from deep, 30%. Not great, but 9 of 10 from the free throw line. The Falcons are refusing to let easy points get away, and that's part of why the lead is so big. The Falcons right now do have 20 first-half rebounds, as he had said earlier, to their total, meaning Alpha's 5. And the other interesting number that Jamin didn't say that stood out to me as well, as Gary Woods would say, give me that in-between number. That's 0. 0 offensive rebounds. So that means the Falcons are completely owning the glass. And when that occurs, leads of 22 or more are not uncommon.
Right, and this relentless effort you're getting from everybody on this team. Amari Barrett, he grabs a lot of rebounds. He averages 2. He had a handful last game. He's bringing them in. Isaiah Wilkes is bringing them in as well. And just talk about the effort we've been getting off the bench. Guys like Bryce Brown, guys like Isaiah Wilson, even Bivens. He's going to get some more action. And he's been a strong player down low. Look to see him get going offensively.
So as we get ready for the second half, how do we get back? How does Alva get back in the game? They're going to have to extend that tempo control for an additional more than just 5-6 minutes. They're going to have to do it for almost a quarter to slow Millwood down to a point where the Falcons are having to play a style that's not they're not comfortable with. The Falcons on the other side of things right now are feeling pretty good about how they are right now. And if you're Coach Dorian Williams, your main speech to your team is 0-0 on the scoreboard. Let's get back to work and identify and show them who we are this second half. Swing pass down low to Amari Barrett. Barrett dumps it down to Mark Presley, who scores it as the Falcon original starting crew is on the floor right now.
All right, nice job sharing that basketball. 12 assists by the Millwood Falcons on the night.
So on that, you start talking about plays like that going on. Nice job by the Falcons there.
There's a long cross-court pass. Mark Presley trying to high point it. By the time he came down, foot was on that baseline.
So it's going to be a turnover there. Now ball in the hands now to the right wing. Bounce pass inside. Presley knocks it away. Goins comes up with a steal. Amari Barrett has it. Barrett drops the hammer down. And the Falcons making a statement early on and starting the third period.
You love the dunk, but what a pass by Goins. We have so many options. Nice bounce pass, effective to Amari Barrett for the slam. We got Isaiah Wilkes on the floor. Mark Presley fighting for the ball, and contact, JVB on Trace Hamilton.
So Isaiah Wilkes is just slow getting off the floor right now. And Isaiah looks like he's going to team is going to help get him up. So now going to work right now. Isaiah Wilkes gets up. So Isaiah Wilkes is going to take a moment here. It looks like he took a shot, although it was not intentional. But Isaiah Wilkes is probably going to head to the bench real quick here.
Right. Rightfully so, to get a break. Leading scorer of this Millwood Falcon team.
But it's just good to see him walk up off the floor. So a timeout has been assessed on the 30-second timeout been called by the Falcons there. Describe what you kind of saw there, Jamin, in that sequence there. Wilkes, multiple players ending up on the floor.
Right, there's a lot of action. They're trying to fight for the ball. Isaiah Wilkes, he hits the full early, and Mark Presley nearly gets the steal and gets it over to JVB. But Trace Hamilton, being the active player that he's been, initiating contact as well, shoulders collide with those.
So that's all it ended up, and then everything else was just players. First of all, good sportsmanship shown by Mathers, who was trying to help check on Isaiah Wilkes, but as most teams will do, let me check on my own. And let's see here, Wilkes is going to stay in the game. Okay, because he called a timeout. I guess Isaiah Wilkes is able to return to the floor.
The start five returning, opening up the second half.
So because a timeout was used, he was able to return back to the floor. Going to throw the ball in, and Mark Presley knocks that ball out of bounds. So good ball denial by the Falcons.
All right, especially that matchup there. Trace Hamilton, he only has 2 points on the night, but he has a nice skill set, and they're trying to work that ball to him. Mark Presley's doing a good job not letting that happen.
All right, short corner jump shot is nice there, knocked down by Cass Shipley. His first and their first points of the second half. On the other end, Goins letting it rain in Hennessy as Goins has knocked down his fourth three-point shot of the game.
Right, we talk about that percentage. Goins is displaying a lot of confidence in that three-point shot. Mark Presley is tied up with Trace Hamilton on the floor.
So on the night, players are separating, but on the night, Braylon Goins, 4 of 7 from deep, 57%. He is 5 of 8 shooting in this game, 63%, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Oh, and a matter of that, he's got 3 assists in the game so far as well. Ball in the hands now of Pinko. Pinko, what a nice crossover at the top. Shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Van Buren.
Nice job by Isaiah Wilkes establishing some leverage there. Pinko trying to block it, but Isaiah Wilkes gets that shot up before he could.
On the other end,
Mathers fighting for it. He gets the ball to Hamilton, and Hamilton.
And they're going to call a foul. So I'm trying to see exactly. A holding foul is going to be called against the Falcons there. Foul's going to be called against Amari Barrett. That is foul number 3, I believe, for him. Team foul number, no, I take that back. That foul was called against Alva, their first foul of the second half. That foul was called against Pinko, so stand corrected. Pinko. All right, Wilkes now has it. Ball over to Goins. Goins gets it over to Van Buren in the corner. Back up top to Goins. And Goins steps on the end line. A turnover. Nice job of closing down the airspace there by Campbell Gaisford.
Right, and Gaisford, he's forced quite a bit of turnovers. His defensive effort is something to be acknowledged for Alva.
Pinko comes out of the game, and returning to the game for the Gold Bugs is Connor Adair. Backcourt trap. Van Buren scrambling for it, and it looks like the ball will belong. Does it still belong? Yeah, it still belongs to Alva. So, but again, Van Buren on his hustle, diving for the ball. So Van Buren guarding the inbounder, applying pressure. And a 5-second call, and it will be Falcon ball. Nice job by the Falcons, by Van Buren smothering the passing lanes. The interesting thing about that is someone is always open. You just got to find them. Got to get the ball in the hands of Barrett. Barrett squares up from the right wing. Shot no good. Rebound pulled down nicely there by Hamilton.
Mark Presley wasting no time guarding the ball.
Going to swing it. Hamilton pulls up. Shot short. Rebound by Mathers. Mathers kisses off the glass. His shot's no good, but a rebound putback opportunity by Gaisford is good.
Right, Gaisford, his 3rd point of the night.
So going to work now in the hands now of Goins. Swings it over to Isaiah Wilkes. 5:08 to go in the third. 49-22 is the score. Maurice Prince and Jamin Dawson on the call. And Amari Barrett drops it down low to Mark Presley. And Presley's going to be called for that offensive foul there as he lowered the boom. He was trying to establish position, but when he lunged forward with the shoulder, it was easy on that call there.
Right, and an underrated aspect of this game that we haven't spoke of is the physicality. Mark Presley has had to do a lot down there trying to guard Trace Hamilton.
And Amari Barrett comes away with the steal, and Isaiah Wilkes lays it in nicely.
Good defense leads to easy offense.
Isaiah Wilkes in double digits as well with 13 points. And the Falcons get another steal. And this time it's going to be a foul on the floor. The Falcons are pesky. The Falcons are attacking and flying high.
Right, you love to see the energy. That's what we talk about. Bench is standing up, clapping. You love to see it. Fighting for the ball, fighting for possessions.
So now going to work, 51-22. Wilkes got to get it in and gets it into Van Buren. Van Buren into the lane and finish. This is with a strong move to the inside off the Isaiah Wilkes assist. Van Buren with 8.
Yeah, nice pro hop to get in the middle of the paint by Van Buren.
And the Falcons.
Shipley's fouled. We'll call Mark Presley on that.
So second foul for Presley. Second team foul for the Falcons. Falcons still continuing to press. And
Gaisford loses his footing.
And they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. It's another turnover. 53-22. Falcons just being dominant on every side of the ball. Being doggish on defense and attacking on the offensive end and smothering on passes. Van Buren. Bounce pass over to Barrett. Barrett.
He's bumped by Shipley.
He's going to be bumped by Shipley on the play right there. And they're going to call a technical foul this time on Mark Presley. He did not need to push the Gold Bug player. That was number 21, Cash Shipley. That's just poor sportsmanship. You want to help your own teammate, but there's no need to do that if he was trying to help you up. You want positive sportsmanship being displayed, but you don't need that type of play in this situation.
Right. Throughout the hard plays, there's been a great display of sportsmanship throughout both teams there. And as I was mentioning, the physicality that Mark Presley is dealing with, trying to establish his position, is just boiling some frustration. And just a lapse of judgment there, sending Shipley to the free throw line. Misses his first.
Shipley misses free throw number 1. You know, misses both free throws there. And that, unfortunately, has been a trend for the Gold Bugs tonight. 53-22 is the score.
Right, it's tough to win any game regardless of what you throw at your opponent. You can't cash in those free opportunities.
Pass over the top goes out of bounds. It's off the mark, 53-22. Here comes the Falcons to the corner. Van Buren inside to Presley. Presley inside. Isaiah Wilkes wasn't ready for it. Beautiful pass by Presley. He was trying to do a touch pass, put a little bit too much pepper on it.
Right, you want to get that ball there. You don't want to just float it so Alva can come take it, but nice job trying to work that ball down low into the paint. Easy shots is what Millwood should be working on.
Nice pass ahead now to the hands of Kyler Martin. Stutter step dribble, and a nice off-balance shot by Shipley is no good. Rebound by Barrett, kicks it. Isaiah Wilkes for 3. Wilkes is hit after he releases it, but there is no foul on that play. And unfortunately, standing out of bounds, of course, is standing there was Gaisford. So it's going to be a turnover there. 53-22, 3:41 to go. Inside pass to Presley is going to be sent back, that time by Cash Shipley.
Right,
and
trying to sneak a bucket in
is going
there.
to end up being called for double dribble there.
After a good defensive.
3:35 to go, 53-22 is the score. Ball in the hands now of Goins.
And for Alva, they've had some good defensive plays, but can't translate it to offense. You got to find a way to get that to go together.
Going to swing it over to Van Buren. Back over at top to Goins. Right wing to Isaiah Wilkes. Falcons taking some time off the clock. Inbound pass. Straight to the basket goes Amari Barrett for 2 off the Jonathan Van Buren assist. Amari Barrett is joined the double-digit club and could not chase down the errant pass there. Kyler Martin couldn't track it down. It's going to be a turnover again by the Gold Bugs. As far as turnovers in the game, the Gold Bugs have had 18 turnovers overall. So substitution, it looks like Campbell Gaisford comes out of the game, and now returning back in is Keelan Penco. Pass inside to Isaiah Wilkes, who's fouled, being defended there by Trace Hamilton. So that's team foul number 4 going against the Gold Bugs. Isaiah Wilkes to the line, shooting 2.
Isaiah Wilkes on the season, 70% from the free throw line.
Right around 70% overall, and then he misses the free throw trying to put it on the underside.
I guess I did it, Mo.
Well, hey, I at least do it once a game. I get talked about online pretty bad about that. So as it stands right now, Isaiah Wilkes goes 1 of 2, 56%. Presley checks out of the game now. And coming in the game now is Isaiah Wilson. Isaiah Wilkes covering Penco. Across the timeline goes Adair. Adair being covered by Wilkes. And a 5-second call again by Connor Adair. Against Connor Adair.
All right, and that defense,
turnover number 19 against the Gold Bugs.
Good communication there from Wilkes and Wilson on that switch.
Amari Barrett spin move inside the lane and drops the biscuit in the basket. Count them up, 1-2 for Barrett.
All right, we talked about Barrett and his post presence. Nice to see it all come together there. And a chance to get one more to go with it.
Barrett's got 13 tonight.
15 last game.
Okay, there's a stoppage in action here. Not certain on what that is. Did we have a player from Alva foul out? Is that what we had here? Did I miss that? Okay, a substitution coming out of the game right now is Cash Shipley. I don't think he had 5 fouls. Front rim shot by Amari Barrett. He misses it. And again, Isaiah Wilkes gets the rebound off the missed free throw and then gives it up to his boy, Barrett, who flies in the lane to get his 15th point. Pass is deflected out of bounds by Barrett, but it will remain Gold Bug ball. So Jance Heaton is in the game also for the Gold Bugs right now.
First appearance in the game.
Braylon Goins comes out of the game. And Chris Clay comes back. And Isaiah Wilkes tries to slam it in home. And then Barrett picks up the loose change on that and scores.
Millwood electing to trap again. And Adair with a full court pass to Penco. He's going to lace the 3 on the left wing. That's no good.
And
Trace Hamilton good on the putback.
So missing the first one. 62-24.
Nice pass there by JVB to Amari Barrett for easy 2. Amari Barrett's got 17 on the night.
Make that 19.
Excuse me, 19.
And then Van Buren tries to finish on the deep pass there.
There's a little contact there from Heaton. Amari Barrett hitting the hardwood, no call. They swing it over to Pink on the left wing. He tries the 3 again. That goes off the front of the rim.
So as it stands right now, So now Jonathan Van Buren comes out of the game and Javier Richards comes in. Falcons up by 40. Ball rotating around the perimeter into the hands of Penco to the corner. And Amari Barrett throws it back in. A nice job by Amari Barrett. And Isaiah Wilson has it. They're going to swing it. Isaiah Wilkes has it over to Chris Clay. Chris Clay spots up for three. He can't get it. Amari Barrett tries to chase it down.
Nice teamwork there. Just couldn't get that shot to go.
And the ball's knocked loose, but it will remain gold bug ball. Isaiah Wilkes and Amari Barrett still pushing. Amari Barrett pointing at the scoreboard, getting a little comments here and there by the gold bugs. Going to swing it to the corner. Shot off the back of the goal. It's going to say it's off Barrett with the block, so Barrett's going to get credit for a block on the play as the ball goes out of bounds. Ball back in the hands of the Gold Bugs, working the ball up top around the perimeter. Javier covering, number 24, Martin. Ball back in the hands of Penco. Penco into the lane. High shot, arcing shot, no good. And then he comes back in, he can't get that one. And then finally, when it's all said and done, Trace Hamilton, off a couple of misses, finally scores.
Nice job by Alva sticking with it. Trace Hamilton, not too much productivity, but he has 6 on the night.
So 26 points now, and now Hamilton with a chance to get back up. .1 seconds to go in the third. Back rims that shot, no good. Rebound pulled down by Barrett. Chris Clay to the corner. Isaiah Wilkes thought about driving inside. Pass too tall for Barrett, but tracked down by Isaiah Wilson, but they said he stepped on the end line. Turnover by the Falcons.
All right, trying to tiptoe on that baseline.
Amari Barrett on the precipice of a double-double. He's got 19 points and 9 rebounds as it stands right now.
Really speaks to his activity and his post presence as Bryce Brown jumps up and tips that ball.
Bryce Brown try to get his hands on it.
All right, might have jammed that finger. I haven't played too much basketball on my day, but if you keep trying to pick and pry at it, it might jam that finger up.
Penco fires, and as time expires, shot no good. And it's 64-26. We'll be right back. You're listening to Millwood Varsity Boys Basketball Regional Class 3A Championship game, brought to you by OCCC and SSM Health at St. Anthony.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Hey sports fans, get ready to step into the world of championships with Super Prep Live, hosted by Miles Perry, only on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Dive deep into the lives of high school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that reveals what makes them great. Follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
Time to start the fourth. Maurice Prince and Jamin Dawson here. It is a 38-point lead by the Falcons right now. On the floor for the Falcons, Isaiah Wilson, Isaiah Wilkes, Amari Barrett, Chris Clay, and Bryce Brown on the floor right now. Chris Clay spots up from the left wing. Three-point shot is no good. Isaiah Wilkes with the rebound. And Isaiah Wilkes goes to the lane, scores the basket, and will go to the free throw line, +1.
Strong rebound and one. Pinko's been trying to swat at any of those attempts he can get, but Isaiah Wilkes manages to get it down. just to keep you updated, Mo, on that quarter total that these players have sought out to keep their opponents at 8 points at each period. And quarters 2 and 3, they're successful.
Wilkes knocks down the free throw. He's got 17 on the night. What's even better, I said Barrett was on the precipice of a double-double, and that time Pinko is bumped by Wilkes. And now Christopher Clay has it. Clay inside to Barrett. Barrett tries to score. Barrett misses. Gets 2-3 opportunities and just putting in work. What a job by Amari Barrett.
Right, as Pinko is getting up and getting a substitution by Kyler Martin. Pinko's really been unloading the tank as far as effort and hits the ground there, trying to get a fast break going.
So Isaiah Wilson comes out of the game, and now coming into the game now is Corey Holman. So Barrett, Wilkes, Clay, Brown, and Holman on the floor right now for the Falcons. Amari Barrett still harassing. 69-26 is the score. 7:15 to go in this game. Ball on the right wing.
Nice job. Chris Clay fighting over those screens, stay on top of the ball.
Ball in the hands now, dribbling up top by Adair. Behind the back dribble, and they're going to call a 5-second call.
Right, you've only got so much time, and Millwood defense, being as tenacious as they are, forces Adair into another mistake.
So now going to work right now. So Amari Barrett comes out of the game. Josiah Mays has come in, and so has Gabriel Bivens for Wilkes. So shot is up there. Finally able to knock down that three-point shot is Chris Clay. He's been waiting on one today. Chris Clay now with 3 off the bench. Josiah Mays, great defense that time on Connor Adair. He misses the shot that time. Rebound on the other end by Gabriel Bivens, and now Josiah Mays glides to the glass and scores.
A sweet bounce pass there by Chris Clay.
Double team in the backcourt. Pass ahead as Corey Holman comes up with the steal this time. Bryce Brown over to Clay. Clay rains and drains, attempts to rain and drain a 3. He doesn't get it to fall, but guess who gets the rebound? The smallest man on the court, Bryce Brown, and he scores it.
All right, Clay was really trying to get that 3 in motion, but Bryce Brown, the fan favorite, gets the score. Chris Clay manages to get the basketball again and charges the paint. He's fouled.
So team foul number 2 coming against the Bulldogs, Goldbugs, excuse me. And the Falcons lead by 50. It's kind of crazy to believe in the game that we've watched and how it unfolded tonight, because the Falcons ran out 17-0. The Goldbugs then responded in a major way as Chris Clay knocked it down, getting the lead under 10, as close as 6 to 8 points. And then since that point, the injection back in the game of Isaiah Wilkes and Amari Barrett changed everything.
Right, and that speaks to their leadership. Those are the 2 leading scorers on this team, and they average around a couple steals a game. So it speaks to their effort there, and it flows all throughout this team.
All right, ball on the right wing. Pull up Jay. Slightly altered there by Josiah Mays. Up to Gabriel Bivens, and Bivens scores it on the other end.
Great vision here by this group out here for the Millwood Falcons. They've done a nice job getting those passes out in transition, scoring on the pass 3.
Now going to work up top. Bivens now covering against Coleman Gatesford. Now Bivens comes away with the steal. And on the other end, he gets the steal and the deal. Goes Gabriel Bivens getting the 2.
Right, the fans wanted a dunk, but he was gracious to the rim.
Going to throw it ahead. Ball back in the hands now of Coleman Gatesford. The Falcons right now, as they dump the ball down, and a nice shot that time by Trace Hamilton. 82-28 is the score. On the other end, Corey Holman can't get the shot to fall. Rebound pulled up by the Gold Bugs. The Falcons were playing tonight to go to the winner's bracket of area. Pass again to Josiah Mays, who tries to finish with the left hand. Shot no good. But there is going to be, they wanted to play Friday night in Kellysville in the winner's bracket. And who will they be playing, Jamin Dawson?
They will be playing the winner of Lincoln Christian and Heritage Hall, two teams that they both seen in the season, and Millwood has defeated them both.
So right there, it looks like we're looking at a looming rematch between one or both of the schools, as that is knocked down by Josiah Mays there by the free throw line. And mass substitutions coming in again. Bryce Brown comes out, Chris Clay comes out, and now into the game we get Braylon Bradshaw, and we're also getting Jamari Moore in the game right now. And Josiah Mays knocks down the free throw, 84-28.
It's nice to see some action here from Braylon Bradshaw.
And they're going to call steps against Keaton Adair there. And one other point that needs to be made about this game, as that if you were to lose this game, it does not eliminate you from the playoffs, as Gabriel Bivens finds distance and knocks down another shot. High off the glass pass. Ball back in the hands of Keaton Adair. Adair drives baseline, and the ball's going to go off Jamari Moore, off his glasses. He's going to have to get one of them straps.
You know, I really want to give him one, because every game I watch him, those glasses hit the floor.
Also, that's some good frames, let me tell you that much. Ball back up top to Keaton Adair. Cross-court pass over to Gaisford. Ball in the hands now. Pass inside attended by Keaton Adair. Off the mark, intended for Maddox Beck.
All right, nice job by Holman maintaining his position, not going for the ball. What could have gave Alva possession.
So working the ball inside, and Braylon Bradshaw catches the alley, and then the oop from Jamari Moore.
And this is the highlight that the Millwood fans have been waiting for. Personally, I've been asking, where's Braylon Bradshaw? Comes off the bench for the alley-oop.
So now going to work. Three-point shot from the wing is knocked down nicely by Coleman Gaisford.
Nice rotation on that three by Coleman Gaisford.
Jamari Moore over to Braylon Bradshaw. Hand off to Josiah Mays. Into Corey Holman, who kicks it to the corner. And Gabriel Bivens for three again. Jamari Moore fighting for it. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be Millwood ball.
All right. Nice no-look pass there by Holman, trying to get it in the corner.
So 3:06 to go. Jamari Moore to throw it in. 89-31. And Braylon Bradshaw works it in from the outside in and scores on the easy inbound play.
All right, goes from the slam, creeping through the back door.
Ball back up top. Three-point shot attempt is no good. Rebound by Jamari Moore. Moore, bounce pass over. Josiah Mays has to retrieve the errant pass. Josiah Mays drives inside, and the ball's going to go out of bounds. Ball in the hands now of Davion Logan, who's come in the game along with Tucker Hannaford. Keaton is going to lose it that time. And on the other end, driving to the basket and scoring, who just checked in the game, is Garrett, who just got there.
Defense in the offense, nice job
Messiah
by Garrett.
Had just checked into the game and makes a play that makes the bench stand up and cheer.
I mean, that was a nice and one. Nice English there on the lay.
So now the play, Messiah Garrett knocks down a free throw. He's got three. Hannaford is going to lose the ball out of bounds. off the harassing defense that time played by Messiah Garrett. 94-31. In terms of turnovers tonight, you're talking about 29 turnovers by the Gold Bugs tonight.
All right, Millwood forcing their opponent to a higher turnover total than Thursday at 21.
Braylon Bradshaw tries to drive through traffic, and it's going to be a jump ball situation, and it will be Gold Bug ball. So Gold Bugs will have it. Coleman Gatesford to throw it in. 2:06 to go. Ball in the hands now coming across the timeline. It's Coleman Gatesford. Bounce pass over to Hannaford. Bradshaw covering. Going to kick it out back outside to Gatesford, and Gatesford knocks down a three.
All right, second three of this quarter since he's been in the game. He's really letting it fly.
So as it stands right now, Falcons up now by 60. .136 to go in this one. Jamari Moore fires a three on the inbound pass. Wasn't able to get it to fall. Coleman Gatesford in the game.
Nice little behind the back pass as he almost fell. Gatesford.
So in the hands right now. Braylon Bradshaw with his second dunk.
All right, Braylon Bradshaw taking no prisoners. He gets in the game and he's getting right to it. His second dunk.
He's got 6 points. 1:05 left to go. Bounce pass over to the right wing. Pass is deflected, goes out of bounds with 58.7 seconds to go. The Falcons, I feel like, Jamin, they trying to hit the century.
They have a great opportunity to hang 100 on them. Josiah Mays gets the left-hand layup to go.
Josiah Mays gets it, and it's 98-34.
Wow, and there's a travel.
Traveling is going to be the call there. So with 44.6 seconds to go.
On Tucker Hannaford, head coach Trey Johnson for Alva Gold Bugs knows his team is going to advance, but wants them to lock in on the little things as they advance.
Jamari Moore has his shot blocked and a foul has been called. Team foul number 5. So going to the free throw line goes Jamari Moore, and he has a chance to get into the scoring column and put the team, and they put his glasses back on, and Jamari Moore knocks down the free throw.
Jamari Moore with a big opportunity for his team here. Really making a statement here in this postseason thus far.
He misses it.
And he's fighting for it. And Hannaford stopping the ball, getting it in the corner to Gatesford for 3 off the side of the backboard. And Bradshaw comes up with it, but Gatesford caught
and then
the loose
Bradshaw
ball.
blocked it. So Jamari Moore misses the free throw.
What a sequence.
And so as it stands right now, to the free throw line with 24 seconds to go. The Falcons sitting on 99. The players want the 100. Nice shot that time by Coleman Gatesford, who's come off the bench for the most part and scored 7 points.
Right.
Knocks it down.
He's been a big reason why that 8-point threshold has been blown in this fourth quarter.
Josiah Mays inside the lane, going to kick it over. Inside with the runner, and the shot does not go down for Garrett. His push shot was short, and the ball goes out of bounds.
And I feel like this second unit is really graced with a great opportunity here, giving them a little pressure to try to get that 1 point.
And Corey Holman's going to get called for steps. Corey Holman going to get called for traveling there, much to the chagrin of the Millwood bench. 8.3 seconds to go. And it's a 5-second call.
And just when you think the defense might stop, Millwood never lets up. And the defense grants them another opportunity to cross 100.
So Braylon Bradshaw turns and fires. He can't get it. Josiah Mays, as time ticks down, and Braylon Bradshaw gets it off the
final
putback
seconds.
attempt.
Love to see Millwood go make a statement. Braylon Bradshaw, microwave offense, 8 points off the bench in the fourth quarter.
101-36. Now again, the Millwood Falcons are Class 3A Area 1 regional champions, which means they have advanced to play in the area round next Friday at 7:30 in Kellyville.
Right, and we're going to check in on who their potential opponent may be in Lincoln Christian versus Heritage Hall. Lincoln Christian still in the lead, 39-33, 5 minutes left in the game.
So the Ava Goldbugs will play, but they will play Thursday. Looking at the bracket as it stands right now, the Ava Goldbugs will play likely Thursday night at 7:30 will be their next time. Alva, I kept saying Ava. Alva will play at 7:30 on Thursday night. As for the Falcons, they will play 7:30 on Friday night in Kellyville as the winner of the Lincoln Christian Heritage Hall game. So the mighty Millwood Falcons, Class 3A number 1, does the job they were meant to do. Come in here, make a statement. And Jamin, as we break down the numbers, what will you remember most about this game?
I'm going to remember those turnovers. It's to the point where I don't even remember how many they had. But if I have to bring out another one, we should mention the free throws. We've seen what kind of troubles their free throw percentage has put them in, but they've been efficient these past 2 games, and you want to give credit to that on top of the defense that they bring every night.
All right. So we want to make sure we get that all the way understood. So what's crazy about this game, as Millwood is on the floor, those who are watching right now being crowned regional champs. So the Falcons holding up the plaque right now on the floor. And we're getting them now. The mighty Millwood Falcons on the floor right now. The mighty Millwood Falcons on the floor right now. Class 3A regional champs. And I'm gonna, what I'm going to say right now, you know, so when we start talking about it, you know, Jamin, another thing, read this off while I got to get this message out real quick, but read out the scoring per quarter, which is just amazing.
Right, we talked about the personal goal that the players set on themselves, and they held their opponent to 8 in 2 quarters, in the second and the third, in the first quarter and the fourth quarter. Didn't quite hit that mark with Alva hitting 10, but a big reason of that is the explosion of offense early in the game from Lance Mathers and Keelan Pinko. And in the fourth quarter, just the explosion of offense from Coleman Gaisford. Came in and got a quick 8, carrying the heavy load for the Alva Goldbugs, trying to finish his game out with their chins held high.
Now, as it stands again, looking at the numbers tonight, because it's time to get the Super Prep player of the game. First of all, for Alva tonight, they ended up shooting in the game 14 of 32, 44%. But when I tell you they only got up 32 shots, Millwood got off 66 shots. That's amazing. Alva shot 44%, but where they let the game get away was not the three-point shooting, 3 of 8, 30%. Even though the two statistics that Coach Johnson is going to talk to his team about will be the 30 overall turnovers and the 5 of 15 from the free throw line. The 5 of 15 from the free throw line really bogged the team down. If you knock down some free throws, you have a chance to keep the momentum rolling on your side. So that's a very, very big detail to me tonight. The Falcons, on the other hand, from the free throw line, 17 of 21, 81% overall. That is pristine. The Falcons had 28 rebounds to their 15. The Falcons only had 9 turnovers but had 13 steals in this game. And that tells you right there that those turnovers, the 30 that Alva had, were unforced. So a lot of them were forced in traffic and a lot of things else going down in that situation. Finally, the Falcons shot in the game 39 of 66, 59%. 6 of 20 from 3, 30%. But the free throw line, those 21 free throw attempts and 17 made shots, most impressive tonight as a group. 3 Falcons got into double-digit scoring tonight. 1 20-piece by Amari Barrett, who has 21 points, 4 assists, 11 rebounds, a double-double overall in this game to go along with 1 steal. Not to be overlooked at all. Batman and Robin, it might have been Batman, because Isaiah Wilkes had 17 points, 8 assists. He had 4 rebounds in the game itself. He was really close to a double-double on his own right from the assist, and that's such an important. You always talk about Isaiah Wilkes' offensive game, which is supreme, but his ability to get his teammates going, not to be overlooked. But to me, the fire starter tonight was Braylon Goins. 16 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals. But he was the one that got the Falcons going. He ended up shooting 4 of 8 from three-pointers tonight, 50% in the game. Now, other Falcons that did get in the scoring sheet tonight, want to show them some love as well. Isaiah Wilson had 4. Josiah Mays had 6. Christopher Clay had 5. Let me make sure I get this right. Josiah Mays had 6. Chris Clay had 5. Mark Presley with 2. But Mark Presley, his stat was not on the stat sheet. His physicality tonight was a big one. Then looking at it, Gabriel Bivens with 7. Bryce Brown with 2. Messiah Garrett with 3. Jonathan Van Buren with 8. And Braylon Bradshaw with 8. And Jamari Moore with 1. So who is your super prep player of the game?
You know, Mo, they really made it hard today with everything that the Millwood Falcons did, spreading the wealth. But I want to give it to Isaiah Wilkes specifically for those assists that he was able to put up, as well as the scoring production. But Braylon Goins giving the team a bucket when they really needed it. His defensive prowess was something to be recognized. Mark Presley playing the Rodman role tonight was spectacular to see. Amari Barrett putting up those points he always does. And Braylon Bradshaw, we haven't seen him play much, the sophomore, but he comes in, and I don't know anybody that had a bigger 8 points than he did. The lob, he had the other dunk, and he had the layup to seal the 101 for the Millwood Falcons.
You know what? I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to Coach Shannon Hayes on this, because a biggest margin of victory in a game by the Falcons, 65-point win tonight. Impressive by every metric that you can think of, but I don't know if it's their most impressive win in the history. But I know one thing, it's definitely up there. So that's definitely outstanding for the Falcons tonight. They move on to the area round next week, which is probably the best team the Falcons are going to play on this side of the state bracket before getting into state. The Falcons will play the winner of Heritage Hall and Lincoln Christian. Can you give us one more look at how that is right now, on how that goes right now?
One more update via Squirtle on that matchup. The final score, Lincoln Christian 52, Heritage Hall 41.
So it will be Millwood versus Lincoln Christian next Friday night in Kellyville. And that tell you right now, that's a short drive. Well, I don't know where Lincoln Christian is, so don't let me get started there. But I know they're in Tulsa, and I know Tulsa to Kellyville is a lot shorter of a drive than it is the other way. I'll tell you that much. But regardless of it, still a great matchup, Lincoln Christian. And more details about that is the Falcons did play them earlier this year and did win the earlier matchup in that matchup. In fact, looking at it from that standpoint, I thought I had that on my sheet. Do we have that here before we get out of here? Yeah. Millwood beat them by 5, 60-55. So that was a close game. I expect nothing less from Lincoln Christian in this next competition. So look for that one, as it will be 2 highly ranked teams going head-to-head next week on Friday night. I want to thank our on-site producer, Con and Neil, and I want to thank our camera person, Con and Neil. Yeah, I said that. I said that. Jokes on that later. He's Jamin Dawson. I'm Maurice Prince. Tonight's game being sponsored by OKC Sports Radio 105.3, the Millwood and Richmond Foundation Super Prep, and also Oak Triple C and SSM Health at St. Anthony. Programming note, coming up on Monday, just a thing to point out more than anything else is that the Sooner Athletic Conference quarterfinals will be featured on PPBC TV, featuring Langston that will be participating in it, but 4 outstanding teams from the women's side and the men's side. Game starts with Langston's girls playing at 1 o'clock this coming Monday on PPBC TV. That's right, games during your workday. Sneak and watch it on your phone. Download the app, PPBC TV. We're out of here, folks. We got to get back to the city. Hey, thank you for tuning in. This is Millwood Varsity Boys Basketball, Regional 3A1 champions, the mighty Millwood Falcons, defeating the Alva Goldbugs by 65, 101-36. Have a great night.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.